I found myself in an almost magical winter wonderland the other day. It was a beautiful place, and the home, in fact, of Britain's top-ranked show jumper. Nice spread you've got out here. You can't be doing too badly out of the show jumping biz.
No, it's not too bad. We've spent a few years building it up and had some good owners and business people putting money into it, and we've managed to earn quite well.
He makes it sound easy. It's not. The arenas Ben competes in may look glamorous. Getting to perform there requires plenty of hard work. So from 7 a.m. till late, Monday to Wednesday, the 27-year-old trains virtually non-stop. And the rest of the time, he's pretty much on the road, competing.
Last year was my busiest year, and I probably was away 45 weekends of the year.
Which isn't surprising, given that over the past 10 years the number of show jumping events sanctioned by the Sports International Federation has tripled to almost 1,000 a year. That includes prestige events like London's Olympia Horse Show, which even in the midst of a recession is proving more popular than ever.
9 out of the 11 performances you couldn't buy a single ticket for, and the others were sort of 90% full. So, you know, it's been a huge success.
Olympia is a beautifully presented show, although it perhaps does little to dispel the notion that equestrian sports are somewhat elitist.
There's 4 million people ride in this country. That by definition is not elitism.
No, people think it is an elitist sport, but all myself, Whittaker, Skelton, none of us were born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We've made it from nothing.
Love their horses, love their way of life. Very normal, down-to-earth people. That's a commonality. Doesn't matter what you've got in your bank.
Whatever their owner's background, the British equine industry has a turnover of over $6.5 billion. More horses are actually being ridden than before World War I, and the elite among them are unquestionably highly skilled. Now, the thing you don't realise when you watch show jumping on television is just how high these horses are going. I'm 195 centimetres tall, and at the very top level, they're jumping about shoulder height for me, which is about 165 centimetres. And later on in this item, I'll be crouching down a little bit below that height, and Ben will be taking his horse right over the top. Should be interesting. Or indeed, catastrophic. Now, top horses, the type that tend not to demolish things, are largely Dutch and German breeds, and their price tag can run into the millions of dollars. But that's only if you can get their owners to part with them.
At this level, most riders have brought them along and don't really want to sell them. So to even go out to buy one, if you had an open checkbook and unlimited funds, it's not that easy to find one.
Find a good one, though, and you can start dipping into an ever-increasing prize pool.
Regularly now, on a regular basis, is easily €50,000 to the winner, possibly €100,000. So it's good prize money to be won.
But factor in costs such as staff fees, buying, keeping and transporting horses, paying the electricity bill to run your monster sun lamp, and you'll be lucky if you've got enough left over to feed the dogs. How do you support yourself?
Very poorly. People think you're earning a lot of money, they say it's winning big prizes, but it all goes into the big black hole trying to support it ourselves.
Those costs explain why even top riders like Ben don't support themselves purely by competing and own few of their own horses. His business plan involves a mixture of training clients' horses and other riders as well as competing.
A little bit more leg, push her across.
He only charges around $300 a week to stable clients' horses, which barely covers costs, but in return takes a relatively high percentage of any prize money collected.
I mean, because I charge not such a great rate on the week-to-week basis, then majority of the time I take a 50% split of the prize money.
But even though prize money may be rising, the days when show jumping pulled huge terrestrial TV audiences are long gone. And for many riders, that's meant more meagre sponsorship earnings.
In the olden days, we had big sponsors, giving £150,000 a year to run your horses, and what you win is profit then, but we don't have that anymore.
Although those sponsors may be missing a trick, particularly if they're looking to target female consumers.
It's one of the few sports that appeals to the female market directly. probably 80% of that audience out there are females.
Well, it's the only sport where men and women compete the same height and everything is the same. I don't know if there's any other sport that does that.
But whoever's on board ultimately is jumping success down to the quality of the horse or the rider.
In general, the best horse wins.
It's probably easier to find riders than it is to find great horses.
It's the horse.
When you get to the real sharp end of the stick, it's definitely the horse.
Which is why I was hoping that Ben was riding a very good horse. Not the face! And fortunately for all concerned, but most importantly me, he was. I'm okay!